Okay, got a new project going on, and we have a new vehicle. Because of various issues with the Raptor, I ended up selling the Raptor back in January. And I attribute that mostly to the poor service, and I'd say quality and workmanship at the Ford dealer that had me convinced that I didn't want to keep that vehicle for a long period of time. And that's also based on the fact that I had a 2012 and I had a similar issue with that, and I figured I'd give him another opportunity, and that quite didn't work out. So I got a great offer on the vehicle, so I decided to just sell it. Well, I bought an X3M competition. And this vehicle doesn't come with a receiver to pull trailers, and I need a utility trailer, and I'm always working on something, so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to put a receiver on the back of this vehicle. It is rated to tow like 6,500 pounds, and the receiver I bought is rated for 6,000. And it's a stealth receiver, so we tucked underneath the back. It comes with the packaging. Little installation instructions. And there's a receiver, the bar that mounts back there behind the bumper. Well, then I also bought the trailer tow package, which gives you some wiring harness adapter and the receiver bar that plugs in on the back with your ball and some various connections and stuff for your tow chains. And then I went and bought all of the OEM trailer hookup. I made this bracket, or I had a guy at work make this bracket for me, so I could attach it to the stealth receiver using the factory plug and connector, and this is stainless steel. So I'm going to be installing that, along with the trailer control module and the factory wire harness. This is a kit I bought from the BMW dealer in South Carolina, which I've been buying all my parts through those guys. This is for your trailer plug and your connector. This is all nice and factory OEM. And this is your harness that goes across the back of the vehicle over to the control module that gets mounted inside the passenger side wheel well, or behind the panel in the rear. But this is a 2021 X3 competition. It was built in January, and I bought it on January. It was built in December, end of December, and I bought it in January, 2nd. So in Michigan, they changed their tax laws, which made it much easier to purchase or trade in or sell, or however you want to look at it. I sold it to the dealer for your taxes. So now you get that removed from the taxable value, I guess you could say. So I didn't have to pay those sales tax again. I only had to pay the sales tax on the difference between what I sold my Raptor for to what I purchased this for. And then it's got the Shikari orange and executive package. It's basically fully loaded. I think the only option it doesn't have is the straight black wheels. And that's it. So I bought roof rails for it, so I can put them on put a roof rack on the top. I bought the OEM OEM BMW roof rails. I bought the all-weather mats. I bought a cargo mat off of Amazon. So this has the access for swinging your foot. And it opens up. So I bought one of those cargo mats for back here. The only thing is I wish this didn't have the full-size spare. I wish it had the little fix-a-flat kit, because that lowers the floor down. Then you get the tie downs on each side for utility reasons. But this is my daily. This is what I'll be driving all the time. In the winter, I drove it all through the winter from January till now. I changed it over to all seasons on these wheels, and then I have some new wheels coming from Boston, which I will be putting those 295s on the rear and the original 255s back on the front with a better, cleaner offset than the factory ones, which are kind of ridiculous. And by the way, this is a square set of tires. The wheels are not, but the tires are square. There's 265 in the rear and 265 in the front for a square setup for the winter. The dealer said it was a better option for winter driving, so I just went with it. Let's see what else. I'm gonna push your little button to close it. It's a much smaller vehicle than I've ever had before as in my daily. I normally drive trucks or a full-size Yukon, which I had prior to my 2012 F-150 crew cab. And then I went to the Raptor, and then now this is really small. I was considering a Wrangler, a four-door Wrangler, but I drove one, and I hated the way it drove. I like more feel or performance-oriented driving style, to where you can actually, you know, nice responsive control as you're steering and whatnot. But that Jeep just does not cut it. I mean, I get it. I know people that have them, and I understand the style behind it. But between just the way it drives, I guess it's the solid axle. It's the style in itself. So this is more of a performance-oriented vehicle, you know, purpose-built. This thing handles insane. It stops. Got large brakes on it. The acceleration is insane for the little. It's a little 3-liter inline-six. I'd say it's almost as fast as that Corvette from 0 to 60. It's very close. The Corvette's faster if it can get traction. This being all-wheel drive, it gets traction all the time, so you get that launch performance every time you take off. Versus my other two vehicles, it has to be a nice temperature, you know, tire rubber hot, and so on. But obviously, they're completely different. Corvette is a completely different car. My wife's 335, a completely different car. They all drive different. This X3 doesn't drive the same as my wife's car. This thing actually handles better. I'm sure if you compared it to maybe an M3, I'd probably say it drives like a taller M3. So it is a little bit bigger than the 335, or I think it's about the same size as the new 3 Series, lengthwise and widthwise, but I'm not sure. So, but anyway, this is what I'm going to start doing. So basically, there's a lot of videos on there on how to install the stealth hitch, and then the stealth hitch themselves have a really good video. I'll probably just step through what I did, or what I'm going to do, versus a full how-to video. This is more of an introduction, and this is what I'm going to do with this vehicle. So, and obviously you can see my utility trailer back there. I use that to tow, and then I'll tow the motorcycle on that trailer as well, and pick up mulch and dirt and whatever. And this is what I bought this vehicle to do. And who knows? I may keep it. I may not. My wife may take it over. She may not. I don't know. But as of right now, this is what I'm driving every day. Anyway, during the winter and the off-season months, I do. Most of the time, I drive the Camaro and Corvette in this nicer weather, or the motorcycle. And then this just ends up sitting, so it gets low miles on it. I mean, I've had it for almost 6 months now, and I basically have 2,200 miles, 2,200 miles, so I've hardly driven it, really. It's kind of nice, you know, only being, you know, 5 miles from work, so that helps. And then driving other vehicles randomly, so. But anyways, let's get this adventure going. I got quite a few little things I want to do this. I've always wanted a lowered SUV, if you could say, a lowered sport SUV. I looked at an X3M, but obviously the new ones are quite a big price difference between this one and the new model, or purchasing this brand new versus purchasing an X3M brand new is about a $30,000 difference. That's huge, and I think this one actually performs better and is better as a. I'm gonna say basically we only have my wife and myself at home now, so I don't have any kids or anything else. So this is a much better vehicle for that reason. And then we have a dog, so I could still put the dog in here without a problem. But I don't have to tow a bunch of people around and all their stuff. So this is a much better vehicle for that, and it's really capable, fun to drive, whips around parking lots real easy versus driving a truck that is just insane to park, no matter what. So it was always a chore to park somewhere. On the highway, the trucks are great. I haven't really taken us any trips yet, so I don't know. But I plan on doing suspension, wheels. I want to put a front splitter on it. I'm gonna put some side blades on it, and I'm debating on the diffuser. But I want to do. There's a real liftgate spoiler that goes on the back. I want to do one of those. But that's going to be over time, so probably over the next year or so, I'll get this all sorted. Obviously, I've already had all the damaging areas wrapped. I did that right when I bought it, and I had the windows tinted, so they all match. So that's why it looks just the way it is. But the front has a bikini-style PPF, so it stops, midpoint right here, goes across. Oh, you're gonna be on the video if you walk in here.
Okay.
Well, you're on it now, so.
Yeah.
I had to come in and she was telling me she was leaving. Going plant shopping again, so to fill up our garden a little more. But, so we're gonna get going on this. Obviously you can see behind me, the garage is pretty much finished. I have a little bit of work to do. I have that little corner right there to do and that's it. I'm gonna change that out. I'm not gonna actually do tile there. I'm gonna do back to the metal like the rest of it over there. And then I got sort of my toolbox here, but I'm deciding what I wanna do. So that is the plan. So I'm gonna get going here. I'm gonna close up that back door. I was venting it out because I had the cars running in here. I'm gonna close the back door and then get the car up in the air. Well, first I need to get into the panels in the rear here to get the taillights out. The first thing I do is remove the taillights. So I'm gonna get into the panels back here, get the taillights removed, and then go from there. Yeah, good step forward right now. I've removed a bunch of the mounting hardware. I pulled off my back wheels so I can get to these screws inside here and clips much easier. Here and here, just to get this panel loose. Pop this clip, this clip, this clip. We need to snap and remove this. So we gotta separate these two panels, the rear fascia and the body. And we gotta separate this flare here and away from the body and the rear fascia. I suggest anywhere you have a separation of two panels, painted panels, that you mask it to minimize any type of scratching or scoring. I did both sides already, so I'm about ready to separate it. And basically you're gonna end up popping the flare off up to about here, and then we can pull this panel out. It's kind of how it works. So, then we gotta separate here across, and the whole rear panel will come off. So I'll do one side at a time. I'll probably have my wife come and help me because obviously it's quite a large panel and I don't want to damage it. I may put some rags right here maybe. I think I might do that to protect this area here and hitting the top of the exhaust. So I'll probably put some wash towels or something around the exhaust and then take it apart. So just a tip though, mask between your panels you're separating to minimize scratching. Okay, here we go. A couple things to know. I've got it taken apart. So here we are, fascia's on the ground. These three right here are actually rivets. They're the typical BMW plastic rivets. They are right here. They basically break when you remove them. So in the kit, they give you these little plastic clips here, the push-in style so you can reuse them. But I happen to have some of the BMW plastic clips and an install tool from when I did my wife's side splitters, or side blades, whatever you want to call them. So I could technically rivet it back on. I'm probably going to use their plastic clips just in case I need to remove it. But basically I slid the fascia back a little bit, the rear fascia back a little bit, so I can get this off. That worked really well as a support for the fascia as I did it. You make sure you, when you basically pull and undo these clips here, you got to push down on this black piece, little tab right here, you push down on it, and the fascia kind of pulls out. These ones right here, I just basically started from here, pulled this out, started over here, and snapped, and it came out real easy. These three right here were the hard ones. I had to use a plastic pry tool. Those three the same over there, and then now here, I use an 18 mil to pull off your four nuts to go here. And then what I'm going to do is I removed this clip from my rear liftgate release. Oh, that's interesting. Bose. The sensor is made by Bose? Bros. Sorry, oops. Bros. Anyway, so I'm going to tuck that wire up right there. Remember to reinstall it, and then I'm able to pull the bracket right off. It should be not connected anywhere else. I removed everything, so I think it's just sitting there. Other than maybe the exhaust. I think I have to, yeah, I got to remove the exhaust hanger brackets. There's two nuts down there, because right now it won't come off. So I'll remove those two, slide this piece out, then put your new rear receiver on, slide it back together. At the same time, I'm going to try to find a place to tuck the factory wire harness. I think it goes back here. There's a little plug right here. I think I can sneak it into there. So I'm going to try to figure that out afterwards. So let me get the exhaust hanger brackets out and then go from there. Okay, another step of the process is done. I'm being a little bit anal about it, I believe, so we'll see. But basically what I did is I actually drilled a hole right here. And then I cut a slit right here for this wire to go through, to feed through. And that's the factory harness, and then it plugs into here. Your brake controller sits right there. I have the light directly on it. It snaps into that little pocket right there, and that's the wire harness I ran around. It hasn't been tied up yet. It's just kind of sitting here. I need a flashlight in a good spot. So this is the brake controller, if you can see where my finger's at. It's sitting right in here. It doesn't come out. And this is the wire harness that comes with the kit that you get from BMW. So I ended up tie wrapping all this stuff up, and then I grounded it to right there. This was the ground right here existing. So that's the ground wire attachment. And then the plug was just tied up in the vehicle already. So this is tied to the vehicle. And the controller goes there, and then it runs around and goes down into here. Down into there. Where I've stuck one tie wrap for now just to hold on to it. And then it feeds out through here. So I believe because the way I cut this and the fact that the inside flange is so much larger that if water went into here, it would still run around and go out. So, which I don't think it will. That's the only thing I'm a little skeptical about. Because if I should put some silicone on this or something, I may do that. I think I may shove a little bit of silicone into that little opening right there. Some black silicone. Maybe. I don't know. All right, well, I'm going to finish running it. I can attach everything back up there. You know, honestly, I'm going to leave this for now. We'll just see what happens. I think, I don't know what happened if water got in there. I mean, this is wide open. So I don't think water is actually going into here. So this hole is wide open to the vehicle. There's no plug, no nothing here where the taillights sit. Both sides. There's nothing there. So this has got a little bit of sound deadener material there, but this side has nothing. Well, actually it does. It's right here. I got it tucked away right now. So technically it has a little bit of sound deadening material behind it, and that's it. So this is what you have to do to get to your fuse box anyways, is pull this little piece out or rip this section out, which I didn't want to. So, all right. I'm going to continue putting everything back on, and I'm going to attach the receiver and then go from there. I may decide to do something about this. I don't know yet. It seems to be pretty tight, so, right? Okay, so this is what we got. I wired it all in. This is the wire right here that comes from inside, routes around. And then basically all the extra wiring I put up in this direction right here. So this is the connector that goes over to the factory connection of the harness, which is up underneath here. I don't know if you can see it. Well, this is our bracket, but it's up inside here. So, probably being blinded by the overhead lights. But so I tied up everything right here. So hopefully this will stay behind the fascia and it'll be okay. So now I'm ready to put the fascia back on. All right, I'll put the fascia back on. Okay. Got most of it back together. Fascia's all on. Just wanted to see thought of what it looks like. So let's see. You can just barely see the your hooks for your chains to, your safety chains for your pulling a trailer. They're barely even hanging down. I don't think anybody ever even know what that was. But I mean, that's how tight that is. So it's got a nice little weather seal on there, so it's sealed up against the elements when we're not using it. And then there's a plug for the little lock right here. It covers that. So when you take this off right here, little rubber plug, there's the lock, so you can lock the receiver on. And then here's my adaptation of using the factory 4-pin and 7-pin. So that I used all the factory wiring. I didn't use the stealth wiring. I didn't want to splice into my existing wiring. So everything's back together. I got to lower the car down, put the lights on, put the interior back together, and see what kind of error codes we get on the dashboard after I plugged everything in. Okay, so we get the lights in, get the car lowered down, I get the rear tires back on, and we'll see what the error codes say. It's all back together. The only thing we need to do now is go in the car and see what it does with this thing plugged in. What I mean by that is all the wiring and everything's connected with the controller. But there's with the receiver on there. I think I need to move the vehicle right now because I just put it on the ground and my switch tracks is popping. It's kind of looks like it's spreading apart because it's resting and shoving the tires outward. So this connects pretty easily. So basically you can just reach underneath there and twist the latch mechanism, pull it out and put the plug back in. So hold on a second, I'll show you. So basically once it's connected, you can just reach underneath there and you grab the little lever and you spin it towards you until it clicks. And then it drops down. That's if it's unlocked on the other side. I still have it unlocked because it's just as simple as reaching underneath, finding the opening, which is right here. Obviously this is going to be maybe a little cumbersome, but it's latched. Now technically on the other side you need to pull the cover off and then hit the lock and then use a key to unlock it, but Now you just roll over. Done. Pulls out. That's simple. Now we take our plug. This is our gasket, so to speak, or grommet, to seal it up for the weather. That's it. It's done. Let's get in the vehicle and start it and see what it does. There's a rubber piece on the post here, so I won't bang the door against the post. I'm going to open the door in between. So I have a wrench. Shut the music off. Do not drive with trailer connected is the error I'm receiving right now. So what does that say? Vehicle status, check controls. Do not drive with trailer connected. I click that. Owner's manual. That's interesting. How does it know I have a trailer connected or not connected? All it knows is I plugged in that device, and maybe it's using sensors or whatever it's using. Basically, this is when you need to code it. So my next endeavor is to do the ESIS coding on it, which I was looked up earlier today. So that's it. It's actually there, but you get that warning. So it's not going to stop you from driving. I don't know if you hook up a trailer with lights or anything work. I don't think they will. But next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this thing coded. So, and, let's do a validation of mileage right now, real quick. I'm at 2,579, and this is May 14th, 15th, somewhere on there. I think it's May 15th. I think so. Don't recall. That sucks. Alright. Alright. That's it for the stealth hitch install on a 2021 X3M competition. As soon as I get it coded, we'll have to see how well it works. I kind of want all the features to work. It's truly a bummer that you can't order this from the dealer with that receiver on there in this fashion, because I think that'd be a fantastic idea and be more utilitarian, so to speak, for a vehicle like this. Not strictly, daily commuter. It's kind of what they're going for, I think. I don't know. Just my opinion. I wish I had that option. You can just order it and get it from the dealer. I mean, you can on the regular X3, was it the X3M 340 or whatever the hell it's called? You can get it on there, but you can't get it on here. Okay. All right. Thanks. Bye.